just
No,
off
okay.
Tverskaya Street. Great beef stroganoff. Incredible.
Wonderful. I can't wait. Next week for me. So let me ask you the last question. And I will ask this question to Andrei first. This is a comment I have received some time ago. And I just want to read it because once in a while, I still have comments like this. So let's address it once and for all. What do you... Okay, one second. So let me see here. Yes. This is from Oksana. She says, she says this. Do you know the real Russia? I am Russian, was growing in SSSR. All the republics of ex-Soviet Union are extremely corrupt. It's in the people's blood. Putin himself is also corrupt. Do you know that he puts in jail everyone who is against the war, even old people? Russia is gone because of him. This war is a big lie, not how we see it. I decided to read this comment because there are still people, a lot actually, who think like this. So Andrei, can you please address this?
Oh, no, there are people who think like this. You cannot control. But what is absolute lie is that somebody who is against the war is imprisoned. No. That's the huge difference. You know, the devil is in details. You could be against war anytime you want. You can go and actually, but what you are imprisoned for is for the spreading the rumors and deliberate lies about the special military operation. For example, I can go out with the thing, say, yeah, stop the war and things like that. Nobody gonna touch me. And especially you can do, you do as any demonstration in Russia. You go to the local city council or whatever, says, okay, tomorrow we will have this demonstration. Okay, just fine, go. But if I come out and say, this and this guy raped women in the Ukrainian village, guess what? And of course, didn't happen. Guess what? You're going to jail for defamation of the Russian armed forces. And this is the proper measure to take during special military operation. As for whatever this Oksana thinks about Russia, she obviously is lying. She has no idea about modern day Russia. And so, yeah, she was born in USSR. Sure, we all have been. But evidently, she hasn't been in Russia in like long years, and she has no clue what she's talking about. So it's basically, it's one of those things where, those comments come. I have people from Ukraine and hanging out my blog constantly. Some of them are working for the obviously famous Tsipso. So it's deliberate. So it's kind of trolling. And yeah, corruption exists in Russia too, absolutely. But yeah, basically rumors about Putin being corrupt have been grossly exaggerated, speaking, using Mark Twain's famous expression. So yeah, there are problems. Russia has problems as anywhere else, but there's nothing beats corruption in Ukraine or Moldova, or let alone those Caucasus. It just corrupt utterly around there, and especially Middle Asia. So, but it's in the nature. But yeah, I don't think so. Oksana has been to Russia in a long time.
Thank you, Andrei. Lara, do you want to add anything to it, or?
Yeah, well, so the story's told. It may be apocryphal. Jesus is standing in front of a sinner, and he says to the crowd, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." And here comes this rock, smacks the sinner right in the middle of the head. And Jesus looks out and says, "Mother, stop it." So, the Virgin Mary was the one without sin that cast the stone. My point in this, every country just needs to look in the mirror at itself. The United States is famous for its self-righteousness in condemning the human rights abuses in other countries and the lack of judicial due process and corruption in elections. You know what? The United States needs to shut the hell up, fix its own house. Our corruption is on par with anything that I've ever seen overseas in any other country. when you've got Joe Biden with clear evidence of corruption, and with Hunter Biden, and the sexual deviancy that goes on both parties. You know, you had that one congressional staffer posting the fact, you know, he was having homosexual sex on top of one of the hearing room desks, and they don't prosecute him. So my point in all of this is, and then look at the way the people who walked into the Capitol. They didn't go in, storm it. They didn't break things up. They didn't call $1 million worth of damage. They walked in part because they were invited and it was a setup. And yet they're being jailed like anything that Alexander Solzhenitsyn described in the Gulag Archipelago. So my point in this is, it's real easy to sit back and try to criticize what's going on in Russia. You know what? Let the Russians take care of the Russians. Let the Americans, the people in the United States, take care of the people in the United States. You know, until we've got that genuine city on the hill where we're filled with all the virtue and prosperity, and there's no poor among us, and no children are being sexually or physically abused, and there's not this inequality between classes, then if we're in that position, okay, maybe we're in a position to tell other people, give them some suggestions on what they could do. But until that time comes, we need to shut the hell up. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I see already the time for Andrei to go, because he's always so sharp with the time. I very, very much appreciate you both coming on today and answering my questions and giving me so much of your energy and time. Thank you everyone for watching us. Make sure to hit that like, it helps the channel, subscribe, share the video as well, and to follow both Andrei Martyanov and Larry Johnson. All the links you have already attached down below the live stream. And until next time, I hope,